my fellow free will sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LLP Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the wonderful, beautiful realms of planet Earth. And today's date is Thursday, October 21st, 2021. Yeah, I was on a mission, successful. Had a little hiatus, and I do apologize for that. Just one of those moments you gotta sit back and rejuvenate yourself and all that good stuff, but I am doing okay. So, but everyone out there around the world, thank you for taking the time to listen to this show. Wow, it's just a lot of mayhem as usual. And I forgot what episode number this is. I believe it's 1403. I could be mistaken, but I'll post this when it's corrected. So forgive me on that. We're gonna be mainly talking about an anti-commandeering related issue right now. And the state of Florida is a good example of what's going on with the mandates and all that garbage, which the mainstream media is trying to shove down our throats and assume that we're all a bunch of gullible peasants and go, yes, master, may I have another. Well, this one here came from the Epoch Times, and this one's entitled, Florida Governor Calls for a Special Session to Counter Vaccine Mask Mandates. Well, this was written by Janice Falkenstern. Came out as of today. And let's go to the reads here. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on October 21st called for a special legislative session to consider measures to counter vaccine and mask mandates. The move follows a series of COVID-19 vaccine mandates imposed by the administration of President Joe Biden that doesn't sit well with the Florida governor who had enough of federal interference into state business. Press Secretary Christina Pushaw told the Epoch Times. The legislative proposal include the provision of reemployment assistance to people who are fired due to failure to comply with an employer's vaccine mandate. Under another proposal, Floridians who have adverse reaction to a vaccine will be eligible for workers' compensation. Employers who fire workers solely based on the vaccine mandate would be prohibited from enforcing non-compete agreements against the employees, according to another proposal. Another provision would require employers to provide religious and health exemptions to vaccine mandates. Meanwhile, companies that fail to notify employees about the exemptions would be liable to lawsuits by fired employees. Biden last month ordered the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, to create a rule to require all private employers with 100 or more employees to mandate vaccines or require them to submit to weekly COVID-19 testing. The rule could affect nearly 80 million workers, according to the administration officials, while businesses could face up to $14,000 per violation. But it's okay for a stooge, white privileged stooge, like Joe Biden, who signed executive order to exempt everyone else, including himself. Judges, federal judges, people in Congress, that's exceptional. So they believe the administration should revolve, the world, the nation should revolve around the Biden administration. But he thinks we're just a bunch of peons, pissants, ingrates, etc. That's one thing about Joe Biden's good at, bending over to the one world order. And the truth hurts to all you Biden lovers out there, and who cares what you think? I don't. Although the rule isn't yet in effect, a large number of private companies have mandated vaccines for their employees in anticipation to the rule. According to Charlotte County Attorney Charles Heakin, the Florida legislature could address the vaccine mandate by building on the right to work protection in the state's constitution. Florida is an at-will employment state. Employers can fire, demote, hire, promote, and discipline employees for almost any reason or no reason at all. As a result, the strongest recourse for private company vaccine mandates is through legislative action. Yeah, so overall, Florida's an at-will state, but there's conditions on that, folks. There's contracts or policies. If you sign documents that has conditions on termination, demotion, and all that, and they still want to do the at will at you, that's out the window. Okay, that's a fact. So it says here in April, DeSantis signed an executive order banning vaccine passport in the Sunshine State. In May, he signed a law codifying the ban. There's a PDF format on here. Prohibits businesses from requiring customers to prove their vaccination status, and also prohibit government entities in Florida from issuing such documents. Right of privacy laws. I'm going to be talking about a few things on that. I know I have addressed in my past episodes, but I will talk about it after I finish this. In Florida, your personal choice regarding vaccinations will be protected, and no business or government entity will be able to deny you services based on your decision, DeSantis said in May before he signed the bill into law. Republicans in Texas, Wyoming, and Nebraska are considering statewide laws against vaccine mandates. Of course, you got your state constitution. What the hell is that, right? A special session in Texas wrapped up without a voice in the bill, backed by Republican Governor Greg Abbott, that would counter the vaccine mandate. Lawmakers in Wyoming will hold a special session next week to consider bills to block vaccine mandates. In Nebraska, Republicans need more votes to trigger a session to consider similar bills. And in the statement, the senators said there is a growing concern that employers will require their employees to choose between their job or being vaccinated without regard to their good faith personal objections. So, nothing new under the sun, okay? And what's interesting about the whole right to work law, it's on Article 1, Section 6 to be exact. And I'll just read this for you. It says here, the right of persons to work should not be denied or abridged on account of membership or non-membership in any labor union or labor organization. The rights of employees by and through a labor organization to bargain collectively should not be denied or abridged. Public employees should not have the right to strike. That's what right to work is. Not the at-will thing and all that. It's always got to be contractual. All right? And here's the thing about mandates. What is a mandate, right? This is what it says here. This is the Law Dictionary and .org, which they do their feature from Black's Law Dictionary. It says here, in practice, this is what a mandate is. In practice, a judicial command or precept proceeding from court or judicial officer directing the proper officer to enforce a judgment, sentence, or decree. So, so there's no merit on these mass mandates. Okay, so it's a decree. It's not a law. Why? Because you got one see now hacks trying to try to tell you it's something different. Come on, folks. Get with the program. And we can always look at these areas here on anti-commandeering doctrine, which I did read about this on August 5th. I'm not going to really go too crazy on it, but Michael McCary actually talked about state and local governments can legally refuse to cooperate with the enforcement of federal laws and the implementation of federal programs. This is the key, whether those laws or programs are constitutional or not. That's what the anti-commandeering doctrine is. It gives you a little history, even way back in 1842. All right, good example here. The court first established the doctrine in the 1842 fugitive slave case of Prigg versus Pennsylvania. Justice Joseph Story held that the federal government could not force states to implement or carry out the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793. He said it was a federal law, and the federal government ultimately had to enforce it. Over the years, the court built on this decision in 4 more landmark cases, and one of them is U.S. versus Prince. So that's a cornerstone. That's when Sheriff Prince and Mack challenged the United States government on the Brady Law, which was a conflict to the 10th Amendment. And there would be a little quote I'm going to read here. It says here, we held in New York that Congress cannot compel the states to enact or enforce a federal regulatory program. Today we hold that Congress cannot circumvent that prohibition by conscripting the state's officers directly. The federal government may neither issue directives requiring the states to address particular problems, nor command the state's officers or those of their political subdivision. All right, so to administer or enforce a federal regulatory program, it matters not whether policy is involved, and no case-by-case weighing of the burdens or benefits is necessary. Such commands are fundamentally incompatible with our constitutional system of dual sovereignty. And we can just go on here. Evie brought the stuff too on Federalist Papers 46, written by James Madison. So I recommend folks you can read that. And over here too, by the Legal Information Institute, by Cornell University, talks about the 10th Amendment commandeering prohibitions, and it's very similar. They did use the 10th Amendment in here, that the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And it gives you a history of this as well. So it's a lot of good stuff here, and very similar on this. So a lot of privacy stuff you can throw in there into the mix as well. So yeah, just read it. It's very good, very good stuff. And this one here caught my eye because it's in reference to Florida. And this one here is Florida State University Law Review, which came out summer of 1978, Volume 6, Issue 3, to be let alone Florida's proposed right of privacy. This was written by Gerald B. Koch Jr. And when we head down here, it talks about the page 693 on the private sector, and under here is on number 4, medical records. All right. Reports of mental or physical examinations are made confidential in Florida by statute. The law creates a right of access for the patient or for the guardian or personal representative when appropriate. Otherwise, reports can be released only by written permission of the patient or guardian or personal representative. An exception exists when a person or organization is procured an examination with the patient's consent. The report may go directly to the person or organization. When a physical examination is ordered pursuant to Rule 1360, for the rules of civil procedure, disclosures must be made to both parties. And the public sector in here also on medical stuff. So it's the one thing for sure, my friends, it's a lot more than what it is. And even just to let you folks know, Article 1, Section 23 talks about governmental intrusion. Okay, this is the Florida Constitution. And here's the thing, when people get the certification, okay, of being vaccinated, doesn't matter what it is. And just to let you folks know, it's medical records. Why flaunt it? You have that right to say no. It's none of your business. They wouldn't like it if you asked your employer, did you have a disectomy? Or how was the gynecology evaluation? Do you have AIDS? How's the HIV? How many of you in this office have AIDS? Right of privacy. Hey, remember Roe v. Wade? We can use that too. So right there, because remember, Roe v. Wade did talk about it's the right of privacy, including a woman's right to choose. And just let you know, I'm not crazy about abortion in general, but the right of privacy. That's why we got to look at that also. And I'm going to add that to the memo so you can read it. It's like one sentence paragraph. It's self-explanatory. So all those folks out there claiming they have a woman's right to choose to terminate their baby or not, and believe you should take the vaccine and show proof, they're contradicting that particular U.S. Supreme Court decision. The truth hurts, doesn't it, right? I just get a big kick out of it. So we got the Anti-Commandeering Doctrine, and I recommend they should use actually 10th Amendment resolution, period. So the fact is this, what the Biden administration doing is void with no force. So notification is going to be there. So I'm not really, too worried about this. And all these big businesses just tell them to stick it. Look what happened with Southwest Airlines. They had to back off because the people were calling in sick. They utilized their stance. If they can do it, so can every single one of us in Florida to tell the federal government, stick it where the sun don't shine, because it's contaminating space. That's how I look at it, folks. Plain and simple, self-explanatory. And I will add that Roe v. Wade case to this episode so you folks can read it for yourselves and make your own judgment. And that will be the one thing we say, right of privacy is the truth, is the fact. And the whole thing is this, like sometimes these individuals, they really try to throw that out there. And folks, they like dishing out, but hate receiving. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So I'm gonna bring this out. I will bring this out for sure. On the Roe v. Wade case, will be the decision in its entirety, and you can make your own judgment. So that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something that's interesting, check out. Whatever you do, please send your correspondence in the form. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of this episode on my speaker page, including the articles and all that good stuff. And if you want to contact me, you can go to LookYouLuck03 at protonmail.com. If you want to donate, you can go to paypal.me or cash.app/LookYouLuck3. If you want to support Epoch Times, donate, subscribe, that would be fantastic. And all you folks in the great state of Florida, support this cause, Ron DeSantis, whether you like him or not. You have to use states' rights with no exception, and regardless of party. Because you got criminal elements from both sides. Want to deprive and centralize everything on the federal level. So once again, thank you for your time, but always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.